Welcome back. I'm Stacey Delicat here with For the Record on Law and Crime. I've got Anjanette Levy with me. We are live outside the Fairfax, Virginia courthouse where deliberations are underway in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. And little update for you. The deliberation clock has stopped, at least for a few minutes, while the jurors have lunch. It is 12:36 on the East Coast, so it is about that time. And so they deliberated about, let's say, 5.5 hours total so far, about 3.5 this morning before breaking for lunch. Obviously, so far no verdict yet, no questions yet either. Earlier we saw some movement, attorneys going in and out. We thought maybe there's a jury question, but no, not a whole lot was going on. Now we want to turn to your questions. So many great questions have been coming in on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube from the viewers. And so let me go to this question from A340. The question is, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were questioned about their drug use, and they answered about how much and what they took. Can there be legal consequences for admitted drug use? I'm not familiar with U.S. law in that regard. Of course, we know we have so many international viewers joining us from all over the world. There's so much international interest in this. We've got international news crews here standing by for a verdict. So let me go to our panel guests, and let me start with you. Dina Dahl, I mean, these drug admissions are from who knows how many years ago, but can there be any consequences for Johnny Depp or Amber Heard for taking illegal drugs in the past at this point?
You know, no, I would say probably not. For one, there are also different jurisdictions where they admitted to taking drugs. Not sure what the Australian law would be on that, and there's various state laws on drug use. So that is a question probably for each jurisdiction. But really, our drug laws are more about possession of a drug. We don't have laws saying that for prior, ingestion at that point. There's nothing about them distributing or selling it. So I would say no, there's no sort of criminal admission they made just by the fact that they maybe have taken the drug themselves.
Okay, glad we set the record straight for that. Here's another question from a viewer on Twitch, Tanisha Wallace X. This is a question that has come up a lot, and the question is, can both Depp and Heard be found guilty? So can the jurors find that they both defamed each other, essentially, and with malice? Linda Kenny-Bodden in the studio for us, is this a possibility?
The problem you have is that once they find, let's say they find for Johnny Depp, okay, and that one of the three headlines, and I'll start with the first one, I spoke up against sexual violence, not domestic abuse, sexual violence, and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. Once they find for that was not true, that what Amber Heard had alleged, it becomes very difficult to find that Johnny Depp actually defamed her, or his lawyer defamed her, which is really the allegation. Could there be some exceptions? Sure, juries come through with inconsistent verdicts all the time, but in this case, probably unlikely, and don't make me eat my words, jury.
Is it possible that they find, neither of them defamed the other one, right? That yes. Everyone gets off scot-free.
Yeah. That is what most people are saying is the most likely verdict here. Of course, there are two types of juries. Juries that have an opinion when they go into that room, and they want to say, okay, let's look at the law in relation to the opinion that I have as to who should win. And then there are other juries that want to find all the facts and all what happened for themselves. That's when you have the long deliberations, by the way, not the shorter deliberations. So, yes, could they say, okay, there's just too much here, we can't decipher it, I can't find behind clear and convincing evidence or beyond clear and convincing evidence that anything happened here on either side. I have suspicions, but I can't comply with the law on finding a verdict.
Okay. Let's go to a question about the ACLU, because as many people may know, when Amber wrote that op-ed, she did it in conjunction with the ACLU. In fact, the ACLU sort of wrote it for her, although she had input and her team had input, and she had asked them to take out sort of specific things that alluded to her marriage to Johnny Depp. The question from Sue Ann Justice on Facebook is, can the ACLU put a lawsuit on Amber if they prove that she lied? Marie, can the ACLU do that?
I don't see that the ACLU would do that. Anyone has access to our court systems. I don't think they would sue Amber to say, girl, you made us write this op-ed and you told all these lies, so therefore you made us look dumb. We're suing you. I don't think so. I think what they're going to try to do is to try to get her to keep her end of the bargain and get off some of that money. So they're not going to want to piss Amber off. They're going to play nice with her and try to get the money. That's what I think the ACLU is going to be focused on.
Anjanette, talk to us a little bit more about ACLU. I mean, what do you think of that? And also, there's the story out this morning that the ACLU is actually billing Johnny Depp because they're claiming his legal team made them do all of these redactions or unredactions from a document. They're billing him some $86,000 or something.
So, okay, so first of all, I want to say we love that Marie Pereira never holds back.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Marie. We love you. Never change. Second of all, okay, so yes, I just want to say, let me start out by saying, Terrence Doherty, the gentleman who testified, the general counsel for the ACLU, I was under the impression he was not involved in any of this. Okay, so let's just say that. Let's put that out there. He seemed like a lovely man, Columbia Law School graduate. He sat for a deposition for hours. If you watched the videotape deposition, it went on probably for 8 or 9 hours. I'm sure they took breaks. But yes, the ACLU, there was this Romero guy that was involved with Amber. I think he met with her, and then the Elon Musk part of this, like Elon reached out to the ACLU to get Amber involved and all this jazz. So the ACLU has filed something in the courts in New York saying we want Johnny Depp to pay us $86,000 and change because of the money we had, or the time we had to spend compiling documents for the case.
Right.
So that's what they are asking for, and some stuff is going on with that in June in the courts. So there were some documents filed in April about that. People kind of threw them out there over the weekend again. I kind of like remembered this happening or heard about it a little bit, but then I saw some stuff over the weekend. I retweeted it, and then I looked at it a little more closely. Apparently, yeah, they can do this. They can say we want our money. So we had to pay this much for office staff to do this. So give us our money.
I mean, that's a lot of money for preparing documents.
Yeah,
$86,000.
How much are these people making that were pulling documents? Like, I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Like, that's a major salary. All right, we will see how that all shakes out as well. We're going to take one more question from a user on Twitch, LatinLove22. How come the jury has to include emotional, psychological abuse in their final decisions when the only abuse that was mentioned in the op-ed was the sexual and physical abuse? Linda, do you want to take this one?
Sure. And there was a distinction. This is a great question because it was a distinction that Camille Vasquez made, and also Ben Chu, but mostly Camille Vasquez, in her rebuttal closing, that the article talked about sexual violence. That was the headline, and that was the implication. So she argued to the jury, you do not have to talk about anything else that you may consider abuse. So that becomes the issue in a jury. They can accept that, or they can accept Mr. Rottenborn's argument that if you find that there was any abuse at all, no matter what type of abuse, you then don't have to fine for Johnny Depp. You can fine for his client Amber Heard. But it's going to be a question that will be answered by the jury.
All right, and many questions they do have to answer. We're going to take another quick break here in Fairfax. We'll be right back after this. This is Law&Crime.